Hello folks, and welcome back to my second Legends Untold video. We are having a go at the Missing Adventures scenario. We're hunting through the caves for some missing adventurers. We need to find the map, the treasure map that they took into the cave, and we're also going to come across a warning note at some point that was left behind by them. And when we find those two items, we succeed. We've made our way through 3 different rooms or caves or areas so far. This is our 3rd area here. You can just about see the 2nd area there, I think, and I've moved them up a little bit so the entrance room, the cave mouth, is off the top of the video, but that gives us a bit of extra room down here in which to explore into. Now in the last video, the last thing we did was our party, the Evicted Noble and the student, rested. What I forgot is that when you rest, your party members lose fear. So our student had gained fear from something that she'd done earlier, but she can lose that. So both our party members are injured at the moment, but I've chosen not to rest as that will take up too much time. This room has been fully explored and we've done everything we can there, so we've got to decide where to go next. I think we're going to go through into this new room here, which is a well-lit entrance, which should mean that we do okay on our scouting roll. So let's have a look at what the next room is going to be. It is the grotto. So the grotto, there's no foe to face here, thankfully, but we do have an obstacle blocking our entrance. We do have an encounter to have here, and there's a little search zone here blocked by a barrier. So let's tuck that in here. There we go. So we're going to come this way. We need to roll greater than a 7 on our scouting roll. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that is good. 7, 8, 9, 10, but it's not 3 more. Sorry, it's not 4 more. So our party's going to stay at bold. If it was 4 more, then they would have become alert, but they're not. We have got an obstacle that we need to face before we successfully enter the room. Moving into a new area uses up 1 time. This means we've only got 1 time left in the event deck. So next time we use time, we have to flip this card over and actually resolve it and do something, an event. So that could be good, it could be bad, we'll see when we get there. But we've got to have a look at this barrier. Barrier? Not barrier. Obstacle. And it is a flooded tunnel. A water-filled tunnel with a narrow ledge along one wall and a rope floating in the water. What are we going to do? Both of our heroes have to test here. They both have to get through the flooded tunnel. Now they could swim using their brawn skill. They could move using their grace ability, or they could lead using their will ability. So let's have a look. What have we got here? I mean, none of those are particularly good for us. We've both got fairly decent will. So it's tempting to say that we should probably do that one. So if you look, if we succeed with the will ability test, then our party becomes bold, which they already are. If they fail, we lose health. If we do the grace then and succeed, then we use up time and we again remain at bold. If we do the swim, then we're gonna, in the next room, because we're all wet, I guess, and knackered from the swim, it means we become careless. So actually, the positive outcome for doing the swim is not that good, and the positive outcome for doing the move, the grace ability check, is not that good. So I think we're going to do the will test. Just having a look to see if I've got anything that might help me with that. I don't really. Although the Evicted Noble is a subterranean scavenger, that's not the important one, sorry, is nimble, which means that she can gain +2 to a move grace test. So she might do that. But you know what, I think the student's going to go first. And she is going to do a will test, adding on her 2 points in her will attribute. I think I keep calling this something different, abilities, but that's the attribute. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So she fails. That's annoying. She fails. She takes 1 point of damage. Yeah. Okay, well, shall we see whether the Evicted Noble succeeds? Let's do the move Grace, which annoyingly is going to use time. Do I really want to do that? Do I want to use time? I don't think I do. Come on then. Come on, Evicted Noble. So we're just going to do the same thing. She is doing the will test. 6, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So she succeeds. She has succeeded. She has failed. I'm going to have to remind myself if they both have to pass. I'm not sure. It says each hero must test, which to me, I'm going to sadly admit, I think means they must pass. So I think the student has to attempt it again. Now, we could at this point go back into the other room and explore in the other direction. And, I mean, she is already pretty badly injured, but I think we've got to try and get through this obstacle. So once again, we need to roll 14 on a will test. That is another fail. That's upsetting. So she's taking another point of damage. And I think at this point we have to retreat back into the previous room. Alright. Had a minor blip there. I thought that the student was going to have to take the test again, but in actual fact, because the Evicted Noble had a critical success, because she rolled 2 more than the test, she rolled 16 and she was rolling versus a 14, that means that another hero who has not yet attempted the test automatically succeeds without needing to roll. And I realise she has already attempted the test now that I say this out loud, but I feel like it just means that the next person, the next hero who has to attempt the test automatically succeeds. So they succeed. That's what I'm saying here. They succeed. They overcome the flooded tunnel. I think I need to get into this room and crack on with this adventure. So we're in. we have got an encounter to do before we go any further. Oh, that's the wrong type of card. Sorry, that's a barrier card. I don't know what that was doing in there. Let's have a look. Oh, here we go. A curiosity, an ancient shrine. Who dares approach? A crackly voice fills your head as you approach an ancient shrine, as you do. So this is a staged test. So we need to choose one hero to test either Persuade Charm or Bluff Charm -2. Our Evicted Noble is very charming, so let's just say she's going to go for it. No additional modifiers, but she gets a +3. So look, that's rubbish. That's a rubbish roll. Curses. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Your will is insufficient. You leave with nothing, and it's going to take some time. So at least we didn't receive any damage from the shrine, but this does mean that we've wasted some time. So this is our last time tracking event card, whatever they're called. So that means we're going to have to flip this over and deal with this event. First I need to get rid of that. And let's have a look at this. Hidden tunnel. You have become accustomed to the caves around you and spot a hidden side tunnel. This sounds like a good thing. This location gains fire if it does not have it already. At the start of the scouting phase, the scout may elect to make a solve reason versus 11 basic test to move to any previously explored location for time instead of choosing an exit from their current location. That's pretty cool. If this test is failed, then follow the normal scouting phase. Reshuffle the adventure discard pile back into the adventure deck. Okay, well, we're going to put fire here. Okay, well, I can't see anything that looks more like fire. I mean, I was expecting a fire token to look like this icon on this card that you can't see. But hey ho, we'll know what it is. It's fire. Now, I don't think we want to move back to a previously explored location particularly, so we're not going to do that. So all we have to do is reshuffle the adventure discard pile back into the adventure deck, which is less than ideal because we know that the cards we are looking for are in here. And if we put these back in, or we're going to have to put these back in, it means we are further away potentially. Or maybe I'm putting the cards we're looking for further towards the top. Who knows? So this event card is out of the running. This is the cards that we discarded already. And obviously there's one less now. So that comes back in there. And we'll crack on. We'll see what we can do. We're going to have a look at this barrier here. See what this barrier is all about. It's a concealed door. It's going to have to be reason or handle. Our student has got a +3 on reason. So spot reason versus 14, which was going to use up time regardless, which is kind of annoying. So that's going to use up some time. I mean, we're going to have another go. Well, we're not going to have to, but we're going to have one more go before we give up on exploring beyond this barrier. Bit more like it. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, it's still not enough. Okay. Alright, so that's just lost us 2 time. I think we're going to have to give up on that. We'll leave that barrier in place. And I think we'll probably just rest and then push on to the next room. So I think what I'm going to do is just do a normal rest, and the student's going to eat this discarded food that they found, and it's going to heal her for 2 health, which is nice. So let's pop that over there, that's used. She's going to heal 2, like that, and we'll push on into the next room. So I think we're going to go down here. Well, there's only one exit from this room, so we are going to push on down here, and we're coming across an oculus, whatever that is. So that's there. Oh, we've got another fight in this room. Goody goody. But we have got an obstacle blocking the entrance. Hang on. Before we do the obstacle, we've got to do the scouting test. 1 time to move into a new area. And then we're going to... Not sure why I'm pointing at that. This is an ambient light exit. So we've got to roll 8 or more. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, okay, so we're not alert, annoyingly, but we were remaining bold. We're not becoming careless. Now we have to have a look at this obstacle. Fungal spores. The air is filled with tiny glowing specks that come from fungi that cover the cavern floor. So one hero must test either balance grace +0 or identify reason -1. Be ideal to get 15 here. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's disappointing. So we got greater than 13. It's okay. Go slow and avoid these ones. So we know our fungi by the sounds of it, but not that well, so it has taken us up a little bit of time. But we managed to get past the fungal spores. Good, good. And we're into the room. There is a foe in the room. Let's have a look. Okay. We're just flipping these over until we find a foe. But look, the tattered map. That's good news. So that's some loot. That's the tattered map. That's one of the 2 items we need to win the scenario. And that loot is going to be held by the foe that we encounter. So let's keep going until we find a foe. Here we go. It is our old friends, the Egyptoi slavers. So the Egyptoi slavers have our tattered map. Brill. So once again, we're going to be facing 3 foes. Each one has 2 health. We know this from last time we encountered these fellas. There we go. And we need to roll to see whether we surprise them. So I think we just roll 3d6 if I recall, and we have to beat their level. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have done. Let me just check to see what exactly that means. Okay, because we're only 1 higher than the alertness value of our opponent, that means we don't gain an advantage, but they don't gain an advantage either. Now, let's get into combat. They are going to be attacking first. So, this slaver is going to attack our Evicted Noble. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is a miss. Then this one's going to attack the Evicted Noble. Actually, it's going to attack the student. 12. That is not a miss. That's an advance. That means the next attacker has advantage. Let's just do that then. So the next attacker is going to also attack the student. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 with the advantage is going to give the next attacker advantage. They are an enemy or disadvantage. So actually it's going to give our Evicted Noble on her attack disadvantage. So that's annoying. She's now going to attack. So she's going to attack. All right, here we go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Disadvantage means it's an 8. Ooh, it's not good. So that means this is a pushback, which means the next attacker, if they are a hero, gains disadvantage. Rubbish. Come on, student. Let's see if she can. Let's see if she can do a bit better. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's an 8 as well. Oh, an 8 for her. Is the same. It's pushback, which is upsetting. Which is going to give the next attacker. Well, no, it's going to give her disadvantage on her next attack. This is not going particularly well, unfortunately. Right, so we're going to move into the next, the next combat round. They're going to pin these guys, which is going to pull them into melee combat, but we've still got another bad guy. So actually, he's going to get advantage rather than her getting disadvantage. So, obviously our ranged enemy is going to attack first. Let's say he's going to attack the student. That's pretty low, that's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is a miss. That's nice. They're going to lose advantage. Then we're moving into melee combat with the Evicted Noble. Wow, that is tremendously low. 4, 5, 6. Ah, okay. Which is not good. That's a fail, which means that the enemy is actually going to do damage to her. Right. So now we need to have the student attacking. Hopefully the student will do a little bit better, because so far, what we've done, no damage so far. No damage at all. Okay, 6, 11, 12. 12 at least will give advantage. I mean, it doesn't do any damage. Doesn't do any damage. But at least it's an advance, which means that we're driving back the creature and giving the next attacker advantage or disadvantage if it's an enemy. And we know it's going to be an enemy because that guy there is going to get to do their ranged combat. And that's going to happen right now. So, next combat round, ranged attack first. He's going to attack the student. Wow. Well, I guess the student's injured then, isn't it? Aren't they? Unbelievable. Okay, so the student is injured. I'm convinced that I'm unlucky with the dice rolls in this game. Maybe I should change dice. I'm going to change dice. We've gone from purple to this nice aqua blue. Okay. So, student was hit by the ranged attacker. It is now the turn of the noble to attack. 7. 7. Push back. Gives disadvantage to the next hero. Student's going to attack. 12, 13, but less 2 because of the disadvantage is 11. So that is a trade blows, which means that both the enemy and the hero are going to take a point of damage. So at least we've done a point of damage. At least there's that. But both of the heroes are looking pretty ropey right now. Ranged attacker. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ranged attacker fails, thank goodness. Evicted Noble, whilst the Evicted Noble is pinning this enemy here, she can still attack this enemy here, and that's what she's going to do. 10, 11, 12. 12 is advance, which gives advantage to the next attacker, which is the student. Student attacks. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, 13 is a strike. Monster is hit. We're down to 2 monsters. Which luckily means that we are now pinning 1 monster each. No more ranged attacks for the time being. So the Evicted Noble is going to attack the enemy that she is pinning. 6, 7, 8. That's rubbish. That is a pushback, which gives disadvantage to the next hero. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 4. She's rolled a 4, which is a fail, which means she's going to take damage. There we go. Okay, next combat round. Evicted Noble. Come on, let's roll a number slightly bigger than a 4. Ones, all the ones. 11. 11 is trade blows, which means they're both taking a point of damage. Crikey. Just brutal. It's very hard, this game. Student is going to attack this enemy here, who is only on 1 health. That's a bit better. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 is going to be an advance, which at least gives +2 to our next attacker. Okay, Evicted Noble is going to attack. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 is a hit. They are dead, and we're down to 1 guy left. Now, 1 left means that the remaining slaver is going to run away like last time. I just want to check that we get to keep the loot. Okay, so we get to keep the loot, so that's good news. Slavers are defeated. We get the tattered map. Fantastic news. And that means all we need now in order to succeed is the warning note? Yeah, the warning note. That is the final thing. But there's nothing else to do in this room except rest, and obviously we are going to have to rest. We've only got one time left, unfortunately, but we're so beaten up that we're going to have to do we're going to have to camp. Now, because we are at a fire, that's a campsite, that means that we can spend one time to heal each of these items. I think we have to do, so we'd have to spend 3 time to fully heal, which is fairly insane. But I think we've got to do it, unfortunately. So we're going to spend 3 time. We only have 1 left, so we're going to have to resolve that, then spend an additional 2 time. So we already only have 2 time. And we've got to resolve this one. Enraged bats. Was that one of the ones we had to ignore? Yes. We can discard it without resolving it. Presumably because this is an easier scenario, insanely. So that is resolved. We can recover all of our stuff. All right, let's go on to the next room. Running out of room a little bit here. Let's go through this well-lit exit. That's going to use 1 time as normal, and we find ourselves going into a great diversion. I think I'm just going to have to do a quick moving of the cards here. And then we can just about squeeze that there. And we need to roll greater than 8 on our scouting. That's good. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 4 more, which puts us on alert, which is handy for various bits and pieces. And no barrier, which is nice. And in here, no foes, but we do have an encounter. That's, oh, it's an encounter. Okay. All right. Move that barrier over here. If you remember, that was for the failed barrier that we didn't get past in that room. Cave imps. Small creatures descend from the ceiling, scurrying around, causing distractions. Okay. Let's have a look. So we need to do a charm or a will. And ideally we want to get 13 or more so that we don't get injured or use up time dealing with their havoc. So a charm or a will. Our little baby Warringer that the student has, because it's super cute, it is charming to people who we encounter. So we could do coerce will test. We'll get a +1 to coerce will. So that's good. We get +1 to coerce will with the student, so she will do a coerce will check, which will give us a total of +3. So let's have a look. +3. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, that's not good enough, really, is it? Unsurprisingly. So that's going to use us up some time. Okay, so here's our event. A Molog approaches. A goblin moldog or molog appears in the caves before you. One hero must make a persuade charm versus 12 basic tests with the animal symbol. I think that means you get an advantage if you have the animal symbol, but I don't think we have that anyway. Failure grants a -2 to the next scouting test as the Molog runs away. Success grants a +2 to the next scouting test. Okay. All right. So who is going to do our persuade charm? Well, I think it's going to have to be All right, so I'm going to use my privileged noble is going to use her influence to give her +1. And she's got 3 in charm anyway, so we're getting +4 to this test. 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That means we get a +2 to the next scouting test. So that's a good thing. All right. But we're down to 3 adventure cards now. We are going to, okay, so the rest phase means that we recover that trait, that ability, whatever it's called. Then we're going to move back. So we're going to change location. We're going to change location back through to where we came from. So just want to check what happens if it's a location that you've already been to. Okay, cool. So we move back into the previous location. We automatically become bold. Is it bold? Yeah. There's nothing here for us to do. So then we can move. Oh, so that's going to, sorry, that is going to take time though, moving into a new location. And then we're going to have a go at going through here and exploring a new area. So let's have a look. What have we got here? A spinner lair. Whoa. Okay. Right. Squeeze that on here. Just about. Goodness. So our event with our encounter with the Molog gives us +2 on this scouting test. So we need to do a scouting test now. And this is, we need to roll greater than a 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that means we stay at bold. That's nice. There is no obstacle. So we're going to go in here. But there is a foe. Right. So we need to get rid of that. So let's have a look at what foe we're going to encounter. Aha. A warning note. A warning note. Whoops, sorry. A warning note scrawled hastily in the script of the Celti. You cannot figure out for whom it was intended, but heed its message all the same. So this is the final item. We've already got the tattered map. With the warning note, it means we have enough evidence to help us find the missing adventurers, or at least what remains of the missing adventurers, and complete the scenario. But obviously that's going to be held by whatever enemy we end up fighting. Oh, they've also got a lantern, that's nice. It's an encounter. Some more loot. A Mortlick. So here is the enemy that's holding all of this loot. A unique monster. So we're going to be facing 2 of these. They only have 1 health each, but they are a ranged attacker. So there we go. We've got 2 of these fellas. Now, is there anything I can do to help us out here? Yeah, I think I'm going to, the student is going to create a distraction. Use as a ranged attack. All foe ranged attacks gain disadvantage in this round. So I think that's the way I've played this before, is that counts as her attack. But it does give them disadvantage because they are distracted. But they, being ranged heroes, get to attack first. So let's have a look. Mortlick number 1. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 8. Less than 8 is a miss. Sorry, less than 9 is a miss. Then the other one. That's a solid miss. Finally, a bit of good luck. So then our noble can attack using her Seax weapon. 4, 5, 6. That's appalling. So that is pushed back, which means that the next attacker will have disadvantage. Well, we know that's going to be us. Then we're going to go to the next combat round. Each of our heroes is going to pin one of the Mortlicks. Then our student is going to attack. I think she's going to use her guard stance. She's going to use her using reach ability. Remove disadvantage, gain advantage on your next attack in this combat. That also changes a fail or a trade blows. And allows you to do damage on those rolls. So she's going to roll first. Right, she's going to roll first. Whoa, 12, finally some good luck. 17, 18, 19. 19 gives us a critical strike, which not only does damage to the enemy, so he snuffed it, it gives advantage to the next hero to attack, who is our noble. She is now going to attack. Eight, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 is a strike. He is dead. And oh my god, I think I've actually completed the scenario. The Mortlick is dead. We get these things which we don't really care about now, but it also means we have got the tattered map and the warning note, which means we've completed the goal. If you've made it this far, well done to you. That was the first scenario, or the most basic scenario in Legends Untold, the Weeping Caves. Thank you very much for watching, and maybe I'll be back again with another scenario. We will see. Feel free to like the video if you've enjoyed this. Subscribe if you want to see more adventurers from me, the Lone Adventurer. But for now, it is goodbye.